Hey YouTube, Untamed here. So as you see by the title, we're going to talk through one of my favorite topics, and that is residual value, the resale value. Do I think, and do you guys think, that this particular third generation Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro is going to yield the best return on investment 3, 4, 5 years down the road? Do you think that this is going to be the most sought after, most lusted for Toyota Tacoma? Do you think that will truly be the case as we move forward? And my response to that is negative, Ghost Rider. So I do not think that that's going to be the case with this Tacoma here. So what do we have here? We have now a Mexican-built Toyota Tacoma with that same lackluster 3.5 liter V6 tied to that 6-speed automatic transmission that's constantly gear hunting, and it needs to be re-geared for this to be the ultimate platform, to actually feel right. And it should be that way out of the box, right? And it's not. Whether you like it or not, it is not the ideal engine transmission combination. So that is a huge bummer. And when you put this next to the Toyota 4Runner in particular, there's a lot of cons to this compared to the 4Runner, in my opinion. Okay, so don't totally beat me up on this, guys. Granted, I own this truck, so keep that in mind too as I talk through this. But like the 4Runner, we all know, has that 4-liter V6 tied to that old, archaic, but super trusting, reliable 5-speed automatic transmission. That thing is bulletproof and a half. Whereas, you know, sure, this has a good reliability. Of course, it has developed a good reputation when it comes to reliability, in my opinion. After everything I've read, after my ownership of a number of these, I've never had a single issue when it comes to reliability. So I think that's huge, and that's definitely a good peace of mind. But I truly believe that this won't be the one that we all look back at and wish we could get. Whereas I do think that will absolutely be the case with the 5th generation 4Runner TRD Pro. So if you have an opportunity to get either the Tacoma TRD Pro or the 4Runner TRD Pro in its final manufactured year, and we're thinking that's going to be 2023, right? You know, it could be a little different for one of the models here, but we think 2023 will be the final year for the 4Runner, as well as the 5th gen 4Runner, as well as the 3rd gen Taco here. So if you can choose between the two, I'd always recommend leaning toward the 4Runner, right? You get that great combination, but it's also built in Japan, which I think it really is, you know, that is often overlooked, how special that is. I think, you know, it's the only one of all the TRD Pros that's actually still built in Japan. Well, I shouldn't say of the TRD Pros, of the, you know, the 4Runner at large is similar to, of course, the Land Cruiser over here. And, you know, just their attention to detail in their plants out there, the QC, the quality control of everything, you can feel the difference of just the sheer quality, in my opinion, guys. Okay, not to say that Tacoma is bad by any means, right? But now it's built in Mexico, which, you know, that's no news to anybody at this point. And after having owned a few of these before, a few of the American-made ones, I can tell you that there's no difference. In my opinion, there's no difference when it comes to quality. Some people will really dissect to see if there's any gapping differences, you know, with the panel gaps. I haven't noticed anything that is truly notable, I should say. So I am very much impressed with this. But I do like the peace of mind that, you know, of the 4Runner, knowing that it is built in Japan. I think that's just a cool factor, really, you know. So I know I'm not alone on that totally, but I know that's a piece of the equation to consider. This, although cool, although sleek body lines, the fender flares are awesome, I just can't imagine this being the one that we all lust after in the year 2025 or the year 2026. You know, I just can't imagine that. You know, next year, or the next model year, excuse me, the next generation of this will have likely that a 4-cylinder turbocharged variant engine, right? So turbocharged 4-cylinder, which it'll finally be nice, because what will we finally have? We'll likely have a functional hood scoop. Watch, they're going to put a turbocharger in this, and a turbo in this, and they're going to get rid of the hood scoop. Watch, that's going to happen. So, but I do think that'll be nice, having a functional hood scoop, of course, but losing 2 more cylinders, you know, whenever you connect a turbo to any any platform, you are going to hinder its longevity. And I don't care what anybody says, you are adding additional parts that are having to, work at high speeds and high rates, and that's going to wear on the engine faster. So, and that's my thoughts on it. So, all that to say, will this continue to be an exceptional vehicle when it comes to resale? Absolutely. The Tacoma here has been a reigning champ for many years now, and I think we all know that. It's just a Toyota thing in general. We know that the Tundra is the same way. The 4Runner, I would argue the 4Runner, and I'm talking TRD Pros because that's what I have the most experience with. I think the 4Runner TRD Pro holds the value the best out of all of them. The Tacoma, I think, is, I should have double checked this before doing this video, but I'm pretty sure the Tacoma is on par, but even more so built. There's more Toyota Tacomas out there than there are 4Runners. So I guess I can double check this after the video, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. So you see Tacomas everywhere, but for good reason. People like them. So yeah, it's just a piece of the equation. But I'd be curious to know what you guys think about it. Do you think it is wise to buy the last model year of this 3rd gen Toyota Tacoma, preferably the TRD Pro? Or do you think it's even wiser to wait for the next generation? We're already seeing people struggle with that with the new 2022 Toyota Tundra, right? Between that, the turbocharged V6 tied to that hybrid with the big battery in the back seat, people are already starting to get the wastegate issue going on, right? So there's already issues going on, and the people with that 5.7 liter V8 are sitting fat and happy, right? Because A, they have old trusty, the most reliable 5.7 liter V8 engine tied to that 6-speed automatic transmission in the Tundra. It's such a reliable combination as well. I would argue the 4Runner is a little bit better, but you got people happy with that. Sure, they're stuck on 14 miles per gallon, which is a bummer, but what do they have? They have a truck that went up in value because they're not making them anymore. So if you're going to try to go find a 2021 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro, especially in Lunar Rock, you're looking to pay over 60 grand for it, even if it has 20,000 miles on it, which is a bummer, right? When MSRP was 54,000. So will that be the case with the Tacoma TRD Pro here? It will be. Whenever we get away from an old generation, there's always the people who want the nostalgia aspect of it, want to go back to the old one. There's always going to be that group of people no matter what. But this entire platform here isn't good enough for it to become like a piece of history, in my opinion, like the 5th gen 4Runner will be, I think. So all that to say, I belabored my point, guys. I know that, but I'd be curious to know what you think. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Appreciate you watching as always. Till next time.